Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Alfred Mooley. I'm the Corporate Director of Spiritual Life, and it's such a great delight for me to be able to share a devotional with you this morning. And I wanted to read for you from the book of Psalm 31, and I'm going to read verses 1 to 5. In you, O Lord, I have taken refuge. Let me never be put to shame. Deliver me in your righteousness. Turn your ear to me. Come quickly to my rescue. Be my rock of refuge, a strong fortress to save me. Since you are my rock and fortress, for the sake of your name, lead and guide me. Free me from the trap that is set before me, for you are my fortress. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Redeem me, O Lord, the God of truth. Into your hands I commit my spirit. I wanted to focus on that and draw your attention especially to David's use of the word hands in this particular passage. He says, into your hands, he's referring to God, and he says, into your hands I commit my spirit. Of course, you and I know that God does not have hands. God is spirit, and therefore he wouldn't have physical hands like you and I have. And so the question is, what is David talking about here when he says, into your hands I commit my spirit? Now, David is doing something here. He's using a language technically that we call the anthropomorphic language. And that is the language that takes human properties and assigns them to God for a particular purpose and trying to communicate a particular meaning. And so we want to look at this and ask ourselves, what is David trying to communicate when he talks about hands? God is having hands, and into your hands I commit my spirit. And I want to give you three things that David is talking about here in this particular passage. When he uses the word hands in reference to God. And the first idea that comes out of this is the idea of protection. So David is talking about protection. He's seeking God's protection when he talks about, into your hands I commit my spirit. He's seeking God's protection over his life. And we don't know, there were many circumstances that David found himself into. For example, he found himself having to run from cave to cave, hiding himself from the dangerous man, King Saul, who was running after his life. In fact, he had made several attempts to kill David. And so David needed the protection of God, and that's why he says here that into that protective hand I commit my spirit. And the second idea that comes from this use of hand here is the idea of providence. That David knew that the hand of God is the hand that provides, the hand that provided for his needs. It's the hand that provided for his food, for his shelter, for his water. It's the hand that provided for his care. And so again, he has that idea of providence that he is talking about, that he is seeking from God when he says, into your hands I commit my spirit. And the final idea that comes from this passage regarding David's use of the word hand in reference to God is that divine guidance that comes from God. And think about God's hand as a guiding hand, the hand of God that guides us in this life. And you and I need that. We need that guiding hand of God as we walk through this life. As we journey through this life, we need that guiding hand of God in all the activities of our lives. We do need that. And so like David, we should seek the hand of God. We should seek God's protection. We should seek God's providence. And we should seek God's guidance every moment of our lives.